I'd like my little talk here to echo the history of the public management program over its 40 years and the concerns at the beginning that R.J. Miller had with the relationship between business and government, and then evolving to involve the role of nonprofits and other kind of hybrid organizations. The way I'm going to do this is I'm going to take you through a little refresher course in 4 lessons of math and science. So those of you who are a little rusty, this will really help you, I'm sure. All right, so the first subject I'm sure you'll really warm to. Let's see if I can get it up here. All right. Now, you might be responding to this and saying, well, so what's the role of calculus in social innovation? Well, I'll tell you a little bit of a little story. Long time ago, when there was a group of us who were Stanford folks, worked in the federal government establishing this brand new multi-billion-dollar program. The idea was to promote energy independence. This was like in the 70s. And so there was a big pot of money that was to be given to the states. Well, as in many federal programs, there's a formula that's involved. And so when you have a big pot of money out there, lobbyists came out of the woodwork from everywhere to say, oh, well, you need to adjust the way our formula is calculated so we get more money. So what's a group of Stanford Walks, trained wonks to do? Well, it turned out the answer was to take a derivative. Literally, somebody at our table, somebody who went to school across the way here, decided, well, let's take the first derivative of this formula because it had become such an arcane formula. And it was discovered that a lot of the things that people were lobbying about actually didn't make a difference. The first derivative was 0. So we knew very gleefully that, wow, OK, we can change, give everybody what they want, and it's actually not going to change how much money they're going to get. So fine. My little perverse moral of the story is that if we want to make a difference, we have to know what matters. All right, now on to my second lesson, fractions. All right. Now the particular fraction I want to show you, yeah, I knew red on red was probably not a great idea, but anyway. This is a pie chart, if you can see it. And the most salient part of this is it's actually a very big pie chart. It's all the funding that goes into domestic social programs in the United States. Until recently, this pie was about $2 trillion a year. It's gone up a bit with the stimulus. There's no foreign aid. There's no defense spending in this. There's no debt service. So this is literally just delivering on programs across the various sectors. And one of the things, obviously, I want to show is the vast majority of the spending is done by governments at various levels. My point is, as social innovators, we do need to make sure that all the sectors are involved, that we have social innovation going on in every sector if we want to be effective. Again, the moral of the story is, if we want to make a difference, we have to focus on what matters. All right, my next lesson is physics. What's this about? Well, it's a seesaw, and what I want to just say is our democracy has become a lot like a seesaw. It's a very big seesaw. It tends to involve millions of voters on one side and the other, and every 2 years or so, the seesaw tips from one side to the other. This is a game we have to stop playing. All right, if we're going to solve our big social and economic problems, we need to change the game. We need to find a way to have a constructive conversation about solutions. And again, if we want to make a difference, we have to focus on what matters. So really, just to wrap up, what I want us to try to remember is 2 things. One is we need to have all the sectors involved if we're really trying to have an impact. And 2, our public conversation has to have a way to get out of the seesaw game and become a constructive place where we find solutions. We're putting together people to work on this project and work on this initiative, and I invite you to join us. Thank you very much.